Good evening. Welcome to Klepper's Corner. Today in the news, your dinnertime dose of global ridiculousness, human tragedy, and technological marvels, all wrapped up in one neatly sarcastic package. You got international wars, diplomatic hand-holding, breakthroughs in quantum computing, and a stampede at an Indian temple. Buckle up, because this is going to run at least 8 minutes. And yes, I've counted. I'm doing my public service. Let's dive in. Segment 1, Gaza war and Israeli-Lebanese spillover. Israel says we'll pause fighting 10 hours a day, aid drops included. Palestinians say we've lost over 58,000 people so far. Cue the water zone strike, killing 30 civilians, including kids. Meanwhile, drone strikes in southern Lebanon and Tripoli kill more people. It's as if the conflict is throwing a terrible party and inviting everyone nearby. Joke aside, the pause feels like a commercial break in a disaster film. You hit pause, people hope something good happens, and then the ads end and explosions continue. These diplomatic pauses are more like halftime shows, except nobody wants popcorn. They want safe routes and water. And in Lebanon, Israel bombs Tripoli. Tripoli. That's not even on their screen originally. It's like your neighbor saying, oh, by the way, we're using your driveway for target practice now. The conflict is metastasizing into a multiplayer game no one wanted to join. Segment 2, Red Sea crisis at sea. A Liberian-flagged bulk carrier, the Magic Seas, got attacked. Crew bailed. Then another ship, the Eternity Sea, sank. People died, others missing. Death at sea, tragedy for commerce. The Houthis are basically turning shipping lanes into dodgeball for the worst reasons. And global insurance companies are crying into their spreadsheets. From now on, shipping companies will treat Red Sea routes like roller coasters. Thrilling, expensive, and you might not make it off alive. Segment 3, Somalia and ADF insurgency in DR Congo. In Somalia, Al-Shabaab bombed a military academy, seized towns Tardo and Mahas, and Kenyan police got hit. In eastern DR Congo, the Allied Democratic Forces killed dozens, including civilians, at a church vigil. If you think religious extremism is an abstract policy phrase, try living where congregating for worship gets you massacred. Both groups highlight weak state control, shifting territory, and displacement. The IG's funny neutrals of territory taken hide gruesome reality. These groups take land like it's free trial software and then lock you out. Segment 4, Russia's drone swarm attack on Ukraine. Russia unleashed 728 Geron-2 drones overnight, biggest single attack yet. That's like throwing every possible Cyber Monday sale ad at your inbox at once. Ukraine's air defenses must be blinking, are you kidding me? The goal? Overwhelm systems, exhaust ammo, scare people awake at night. Probably signals a new phase, not just incremental push and a desperate attempt to bust infrastructure. As Ukraine says, send more Patriot. The West is scratching heads. Is this escalation or rehearsal for bigger things? Segment 5. Colombia's explosive donkey attack. In Antioquia, ELN used a donkey packed with explosives. 1 soldier died, 2 wounded. I feel sorry for the donkey that just misunderstood transportation. But if you're the ELN strategist pitching this, imagine, what if we deliver a bomb by donkey? No one expects that. Well, they did it. Unconventional warfare meets farm animals. Reminds us how absurd and cruel asymmetric conflict gets. Segment 6, Syria's Druze clashes in Sweden. Over 30 killed, 100 injured in clashes between pro-government forces and Druze fighters in Sweden. This isn't the Syrian civil war we used to hear about. It's a mini civil war inside civil war. Rebel groups splitting, identity divides, religious ethnic activism turned armed conflict. And meanwhile, everyone else left Syria 8 years ago. Now only Druze versus government remains in certain pockets. Great. Segment 7. Philippines' New People's Army operation. Philippine forces killed 7 NPA guerrillas in Masbate. Insurgency persists decades on. Feels like that one villain in a video game you can't quite kill. Commentators say insurgency dents development and local stability. Multi-generational conflict? Time for more than bullets, social programs, dialogue. But hey, a few guerrillas died. A headline to check off. Segment 8, Thai-Cambodian border dispute and ASEAN mediation. 34 dead, 168,000 displaced. Thailand and Cambodia agree to talks in Malaysia. U.S. Trump pressuring trade deals, cluster munitions allegations flying. Trump says no trade until ceasefire. Thailand's acting PM thanks him but says cautious. Cambodia gives unconditional ceasefire, but bullets keep flying. ASEAN invited to mediate. So far, diplomacy is like inviting two brothers fighting over a toy to go to therapy. Got to see if they actually stop slamming each other after the cameras leave. Segment 9. Pakistan's foreign policy dance. Pakistan's FM Ashok Dar says trade deal with U.S. is weeks away. Review ongoing. Balancing U.S. as friend and China as strategic partner, non-zero sum. Wants to be bridge between U.S. and China. Also supports peace with India. U.S. secured ceasefire in Kashmir. He insists on dialogue and Kashmiri self-determination. Offers cooperation with Taliban on railway while asking for anti-terror commitments. Also defends legal action against Imran Khan. So Pakistan is playing chess, not checkers. A delicate balancing act among global rivals to secure its own growth. The question, can that balancing survive pressure from both sides? Segment 10. India's politics, temple stampede, space startups. PM Modi praises Chola dynasty and Shukla's ISS flight, touting India's space startups and self-reliance by 2047. Meanwhile, at a temple in Hardwar, rumors of electric shock triggered a stampede that killed 6 and injured dozens. So high-tech ambition meets ancient crowds and panic. Modi says, let's innovate, while crowds say, let's just survive the exit. Parliament's monsoon session is a washout, but debates coming on Pahalgam and Sindoor. Punjab debt concerns and cotton scam allegations swirl. The mix, grand national narrative versus everyday tragedy. Segment 11, U.S. ICE detainer case and sanctuary policies. Noelia Martinez Avila, a criminal illegal alien from Honduras, allegedly killed 2 U.S. teens in drunk driving crash. ICE placed detainer, Sanctuary County ignored it. DHS spokesman blasts sanctuary policy. Conservatives see evidence, sanctuary equals unsafe. Local activists see due process and humanitarian concerns. It's turning into the classic tug of war over jurisdiction, policy narratives, and tragic individuals being politicized. Segment 12, other U.S. incidents and Trump shenanigans. Overnight, 11 stabbed in Walmart in Michigan. American Airlines flight in Denver had emergency slide evacuation due to smoke. Senate approves $9 billion in cuts, and President Trump diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency, reportedly asking House Republicans whether to fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Never mind that. At this point, Trump is like the gift that just keeps giving long after the wrapping's torn off. Segment 13, Science and Tech Highlights. Quantum computing, described as both threat and shield in war, quantum decryption versus quantum secure encryption, in partnership with AI deception strategies. Food tech startups, quantum satellites, machine learning steps, genomics tumor simulation, AI model for cancer prediction. COVID vaccine saved 2.5 million lives. New receptor discovered for Alzheimer's microglia. Air pollution linked to dementia. Walking 7,000 steps a day reduces death risk. Earth's continents drying out. Aero-inspired non-stick coating. Mesopelagic fish excrete minerals. Salt for tenfold longer-lasting aqueous batteries. Rover testing errors for lunar/Mars vehicles. It's like science turned the volume to 11. Healing, cleaning, drying, running, dreaming, but also warning us of cryptographic doom. Humanity's future is both medical breakthrough and battle of ones and zeros. Segment 14, Law, Crime, Accidents Abroad. Nigeria, a wooden boat capsized, 13 deaths, dozens missing. Germany, train derailed in Baden-Württemberg, fatalities and trapped passengers. Iran, 2 exiled MEK opposition members executed. Another wave of tragic accidents and state violence. Everything from maritime misadventure to brutal execution. Each a headline somewhere, each a life lost. In conclusion, That was Klepper's Corner today in the news, July 27th, 2025 edition. From global conflicts to science miracles, local tragedies to political dramas. If it mattered somewhere tonight, it's keeping someone restless. The world feels simultaneously tiny and massive, chaotic and full of promise. Thanks for joining. Stick around and maybe go take 7,000 steps to cut your risk of death by nearly half. Because honestly, after news like this, everything else feels urgent. Good night.